Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Daylight savings time is over, and I hope it never comes back, but we know it will. Look, it's Dawn Busters during dawn. Daylight is breaking. That's the way it's supposed to be. We're talking about that on CBS News up to the minute this morning. That it's not good for your health. Just savings time. All right. This morning we have from well, I don't know when they started selling the scotch, but the company J.W. Dant was founded in 1836 in Kentucky. True story. 1836. Robert Collins, greetings from Newfoundland. Thumbs up in a mug. Greetings to you. 100% Scotch whiskeys, distilled and blended in Scotland, bottled in Bardstown, Kentucky. Says J.W. Dant Distillers, but that's an alias for Heaven Hill. Then there's a big essay on the back about Scotch with the glares. Messing it up, but you might see that. A huge essay. The past. Although the origin of distilling is veiled in obscurity, it is generally believed that the earliest practitioners of the art were a hardy race of Highlanders, and it goes on and on. All right. Then we've got Highland Mist from 1950. They both say imported because they are from Scotland. Introduced in 1957. Purchased by Barton Brands later on. And Barton Brands was purchased by Sazerac in 2009, 10 years ago. 100% Scotch whiskeys. A blend of Highland, Lowland, Isla, and Speyside whiskeys, aged for 36 months. Oh, I said no age statement. Got to correct that. Keep forgetting that. Aged for 36 months and originally selected for the home trade. Oh, man. See, they got the age statement like buried in the text. So, but I'll fix that because I'll put no age statement. Okay. So they're inexpensive. This was $8.99 for the liter. 1,000 milliliters, $8.99. True story. This was $5.99 for the 750 milliliter this was at Dorgnac's. I bought this at Dorgnac's in Metairie, and I bought this at International Market in Metairie. Who's going to win? They're both aged 3 years. I think one's Heaven Hill, one's Sazerac. They both have big facilities in Bardstown, Kentucky. The headquarters that popped a little bit. That made a little hiss. See, I was not ranting so much, but talking about that. Like if the whiskey doesn't age in the bottle or change, why does pressure? Why do I pour? Why do we have pressure releases sometimes when I open these bottles? When it's halfway full, a pressure release. Psh. Hey. Scientists can let me know. All right. And then Sazerac's corporate headquarters is in New Orleans. They have distilleries all around the world. Kind of their main production headquarters in Frankfort, Kentucky, at Buffalo Trace Distillery. But they have a big distillery there at Bardstown, Kentucky, called Barton 1792 Distillery. Where did they say? Oh, but this one is, and they also have Chicago. So this one is bottled in Chicago, Barton Brands. Okay, so they're all over the world. They got Los Angeles, numerous Kentucky locations, Chicago, Virginia, somewhere in New England, I think New Hampshire or Vermont. And then, so they're a big company. Maxwell. Hi, Ron. Hi, Maxwell. I was talking to him on Facebook last night. Hope you slept a little bit. I was frying some eggs. Is that the oil? Did it make that much stuff in the air? I don't remember it being that. Wasn't even a high flame. That's bizarre. In olive oil, not cooking oil, but extra virgin olive oil. I was frying them. with the diced onions. I got to go buy another onion and Swiss cheese melted in there and the corned beef hash. All right, so they both gold. Color same, age same, bottling location same. United States. Well, Illinois and Kentucky. Border states bordering each other. Illinois borders Kentucky, so close there. And cheap, $8.99 and $5.99. Incredibly low price, right? $5.99. It would be $6.74 for the $7.50 though. So let's convert it. So we're talking $6.74 versus $5.99. You say, well, that's only 75 cents. Wouldn't matter if it was just a penny. If one tastes a little better than if one tastes better, it tastes better. But if it's a tie, then the cheaper one wins. That's the way I look at it. The cheap one wins if it's a tie. What else would you say? I mean, you know, hey, neither one of these is sold in this town where I live, this parish. You can't get J.W. Dant nor Highland Mist. The cheap scotches we get here are Sir Malcolm, Winn-Dixie, Grand Legacy, 100 Pipers, and Clan McGregor. I don't recall any others, but I'm probably missing something, but I don't think I am, but I might be. Who knows? Who cares? All right. Smoke. No. Grain alcohol. Corn, distilled corn. Yes. Peatiness. There is a shade of it. A shade. Now they say pale dry. It's pale. I didn't find it was particularly dry. It had some sweetness to it. Yeah, it's like it's very basic. Very basic. Now the build up on the label is like, oh, it's so fabulous, you know. But then you think, but it has an unusually low price. If it's this fabulous, why is it $5.99? You know, there's your tip off. And secondly, it just doesn't match up. You know, that when you start to smell it, you say, well, this doesn't smell like they were describing, like so grand. It's so grand. You say it probably smelled like some blender scotch, like something you buy to make mixed drinks. Yeah, buddy. This one is a little sweeter and a little. Is it peatier though? Honestly, man, it's nice to see daylight when it's supposed to be daytime. Nah, it's just basic whiskey. This could be anything. You know what I mean? This could be inexpensive Irish whiskey. This could be inexpensive American blended whiskey. This could be inexpensive Canadian blended whiskey. I have never smelled the Spanish blended whiskey. I know Jim Beam Suntory has a big operation there with this blended whiskey in Spain, España. Japanese, no, because Japanese blended whiskey has the rice, so that gives it a whole different aspect. So aroma is a tie. The appearance is a tie. How about the alcohol legs? Yeah, well, I don't know. Now, this one seems to have, well, I might have not switched them to totally the same, so that could have made a difference. Glad to wash these glasses again. Okay, I think I might have some tomato soup with lunch. The rest of the onions, cut it up, put it in the tomato soup with the sliced kielbasa sausage. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea, I think. Okay, so now we'll just go with the taste. I think this is going to be a straight up draw, which means the cheaper one will win. And that's not saying much. Well, there was a faint smokiness. Honestly, there was there. Okay. Okay. Pete, a little bit. So that one has a little more character than I had thought. So that might be the J.W. Dant, because I remember the J.W. Dant having a little more cachet. My friend David went and bought a bottle because he said for $8.99 I'm buying it. I said, yeah, go ahead. So then he thought it was all right. And I was talking about how they use column still grain whiskey to build upon. It's kind of like the body of it, 80%, and then the flavor is coming from the single malts blended in. Oh, he said, what? Oh, he was like all thrown off by that. He didn't really know a lot about how Scotch was constructed. He drank it. So he was just saying, it's like an adjunct beer, it's just like they have filler in it and all this. I said, well, yeah, exactly. That's how that works. What he didn't know. Well, he didn't know. So that's how Canadian whiskey is, American blended whiskey, the Scottish blended whiskey, Irish. It's like those flavored malt beverages that you get in America, those like the Ritas or the Club Tails, the original Club Tails. They use a malt base as a filler to build the tastes upon. Here, they're not using malt. They're using maize, corn. Now, they're using barley malt for the single copper pot stilled whiskeys. Are they the finest in the world? Yeah, for $5.99, I'm pretty sure they're not. A little peat, no smoke, nothing, nada. Candy corn, grain alcohol, cereal grain. Think of Kix. I was saying this before, Kix. They use like corn flour. And they make the little balls, and it looks like gravel, little round gravel. And it's lightly sweetened. But that's what this tastes like. Corn of some sort, grits, syrup, flour. I mean, it just is corn, however they want to take the maize and process it. Or if you're in Canada, process it. And then you get that corn sweetness. And so you say, well, Kix cereal is not alcohol. It's a children's cereal. For parents that don't want their kids taking in too much sugar. I know, but I'm saying if you distilled it, you know what I'm saying? Then that's what this tastes like. It's not a bad taste. It's not like that Ron Rio rum that just is an apostrophe, right? It's an apostrophe or a comma. No, it's an atrocity. An atrocity. See what happens when they change the time? I can't think straight. So it's just basic. It's not bad. Doesn't have any bad or repellent, too much flavors, although that kind of grain alcohol thing ain't exactly wonderful. It's just like basic, like, it's $5.99 and tastes like it. The Dant. I think this is Dant. $6.74. It has more smoke and a good deal more. Now, is it up to the level of the 100 Pipers with the rather intense smokiness that they describe on the Pernod Ricard Chivas Brothers website? No, it isn't to that level, but it's close. It's heading toward it. So I guess J.W. Dant would be like an inexpensive version of 100 Pipers, which is an inexpensive product in America, at least. So, if I was going to buy blended Scotch whiskey, and I might buy it, which one would I pick? Obviously, I would pick the Dance. I mean, 74 cents. That's nothing. So, but I'm glad I bought the Highland Mist for $5.99 because it wasn't much. That's the same price as a hamburger, a nice hamburger at Wendy's or, the better ones. And you eat that and it's going in one setting. This I can string along for a year or two. doing the taste challenges, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. So that's a benefit there. But I mean, you got to have the base. You got to be at the bottom. That's the way I look at the beer, wine, and liquor reviews. You start at the bottom, then you go up the ladder, and then you can, when you do the really good gourmet products, you appreciate them. I mean, you might anyway, but you can really kind of see the spectrum from the bottom of the barrel, like your Milwaukee's Special Reserve Ice, horrendous beer, horrible, and then up to something really fabulous like I've done this past week. So, and now some people do beer reviews. They have good channels, but they only review the best of the best, which is their option. It's their channel. They can review whatever they want to review. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's what they do. And they'll say, oh man, it's great. Yeah, it's great. It's great. And 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 it's kind of like the old vinyl records where it gets hung up. I like repetition, so I mean, it's no problem. You could watch them again and 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 enjoy it. But I kind of like looking at the high, the middle, and the low. So it's just me. It's my channel. Some people don't like it. They're like, I don't like your channel because you're not. I mean, it's not like you have to watch it. You know, you're not obligated to watch it. But some people are obsessed. You know. Blue ribbons. I don't always comment, but when I do, it's for the legend of alcoholic beverages. Thank you, Blue Ribbons. Some guy contacted me about he wants to come on the channel and talk about something about. Remember, I said if you got a problem with anything I say or whatever, you can come on for 30 minutes uninterrupted, assuming you don't use bad language or something like that. And you're reasonable. Just talk, state your case. And he said he wanted to do that. I said, okay, we could set that up. Hopefully find time to do it. And I got no problem with that. He was talking about, I want to talk about how people promoting founders is a dog whistle for racists to substantiate their ideology or something. I was like, oh, well, I don't know what that's all about, but I don't know how that would apply to me though, because I never promoted founders. But maybe he's just talking about other people that promote founders. I never promoted founders at all. I just rated their beers, said, well, this one tastes like this. You know what I'm saying? I don't promote companies. I could care less about the success or failure of founders, not to mention every other beer company in the world. But that's a case that was settled last week. That's the past, you know. No one admitted any guilt. They moved on. Somebody got their cash out, and that's over. But, you know, maybe he's one of the people that's making it a big social cause, like this is what democracy looks like and all of that. So I said, well, let him come on for 30 minutes. Best reviewer ever, not for the most expensive stuff, but the real stuff people are going to drink. Oh, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I prefer the cheap stuff myself, says Jimmy Sprats. You get some cheap gems. Oh, there is no doubt about that. And that's another point to it. You do the inexpensive stuff. There are some fabulous inexpensive beers. Now, the Hoi Polloi, you know, the exalted elders of the beer world, they would say, no, 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 you're wrong. You're just a low-class, self-appointed working class hero or something, anti-hero or whatever you are. No, I'm just reviewing stuff and telling you what I think. But there are fabulous cheap beers now. If you don't like that, I'm sorry, but that's the reality. Like John Lennon said, and that's reality. Forget it. The Beatles are over. They're not coming back. Dear friends, you must carry on. That's what he said. You have to carry on. A rock band should not be your life. And beer should not be your religion. Okay, so here, I'm going to say this as Dant. It is. Bam, I hit it. Now I'm going to watch the news. I knew I was going to get it right. I knew it. I thought it would be a little challenging, but I knew it. You can. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Go and watch the news. I'll see y'all soon. God willing. See you soon.